So, in this video, we're going to go over the hidden psychology behind Charlie Morgan's $1 million per month info business, right? So, first off, we're going to go into some concepts behind the content that he produces. Number two, the importance of market maturity. And then number three is hook, proof, and offer. So, how he creates his hooks, how he does his proof, and why he creates a really good offer, right? So, first thing I want to go over is Charlie and Bo. These are his partner Bo and Charlie. This is kind of what they've done over the years. So 0 to 100K a month with an agency, which is Northwell Consulting. 0 to 250K a month, which is a coaching business, Imperium Agency, and then 0 to 900K a month, which is a consulting / course selling biz, which is Imperium Acquisition, and they've done this over 3 years, right? So first thing I want to talk about with Charlie is he really understands the avatar, right? And understanding the avatar is really crucial and really forms the foundation for all of the marketing, right? So if you really look at his content over the years, it's kind of evolved. So in the beginning, it was SMMA, a lot of SMMA stuff. And then he started making how to become a millionaire, some lifestyle stuff, how to be consistent like a millionaire, reprogramming your brain, how I'd make 10K per month. If I started a business 2025, I do this. Really stuff like that. And then nowadays he's doing more like mindset stuff, things like that. So he really understands the nuances behind being in this position, right? So being a person who wants to start a business, who wants to start an agency, who wants to get rich, he really understands that and is really dialed in, right? And by doing this, it really creates the foundation for all of his content, all of his marketing, and really understanding the avatar. It increases profits, increases lead quality, increases close rates, really everything you want to happen in a business, right? So I also wanted to talk about a story, right? And it's kind of goes something like this. A marketing professor asked the students, if you're going to open a hot dog stand and you could only have one advantage over your competitors, which would it be? The students replied with location, quality, low prices, best taste. And they kept going until they eventually had run out of answers. They looked at each other, waiting for the professor to speak. The room finally fell quiet. The professor smiled and replied, a starving crowd. You could have the worst hot dogs, terrible prices, and be in a terrible location, but if you're the only hot dog stand in town and the local college football game breaks out, you're going to sell out. That's the value of a starving crowd. So this is essentially what Charlie is doing with his content. He's positioning it by understanding the nuances behind them and positioning his content in a way that creates that starving crowd. Inside his content as well, he manufactures this starvation, this hunger, by outlining his stories, his achievements, his lifestyle, really anything that essentially quote expands the gap between where he is and where that person viewing the content is. So expanding the gap is one of the concepts I wanted to hit on, and the point of greatest deprivation. So expanding the gap, it's kind of like, let's say you just ran a marathon, right? You're extremely thirsty, and you're at your point of greatest deprivation, right? So let's say before the marathon, you're here, you ran the marathon, super thirsty, your water levels dropped, and then you hit that trough, right? This trough down here. Down here. And then you drink like water bottles, and then you go all the way up here to the point of least deprivation. And then you kind of drop down again, right? So this is kind of like the cycle. And to kind of illustrate this, at this point, you would probably splurge, right? You'd splurge, you'd be like, I want 5 water bottles. I'm gonna drink them all right now. You'd be more inclined to alleviate this pain. And then at this point, all the way at the top here, you probably wouldn't drink like 20 water bottles. you wouldn't want to alleviate this pain because you just did it, right? You just drank like 20 water bottles, all that good stuff. So at this point here, all the way at the bottom is where you want to sell because they're more inclined to take action, more inclined to spend more, all that good stuff. Now, inside of like marketing and sales, you could actually manufacture this as well artificially by like asking questions, right? So asking questions, showing them things. Like if you're in the make money online biz op space, a lot of the sales questions are like, what would 10K a month do for you? What would 20K a month do for you? What would 30K a month do for you? Would you be able to retire your parents? Would you be able to buy a nice place for you to live? All that good stuff, because it increases the gap, increases the deprivation, and then also like what would it look out like for you if you didn't take action today? 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the line, and you're still in the same space. Your friends are still asking what you're doing. Your family's like, what are you doing nowadays? And all that type of stuff because it increases that gap. And that's essentially what you do in your marketing, right? You show a lot of people show like their house, their cars, their lifestyle. This is what a lot of people want and strive for. And this increases the deprivation. That's essentially what Charlie does, right? In his content. Like talks about how he's been a millionaire at 21, how he retired at 31 or 23 or like what? 20 yeah, 23, all that good stuff. And yeah. And that also leads us into the problem solution cycle, which is essentially as someone's problem is alleviated, typically another problem will come up, right? So let's say in that same marathon example, you're thirsty. You then, okay, well, you then alleviate that thirst through water. You have water or whatever. Um, that's water. Okay. But you have water, and then you'll typically have another problem, which is you're tired or you're sweaty, and then you solve that through taking a shower. And then you're tired, so you take a nap slash sleep. So there's these kind of cycles where you hop to another problem after you solve a solution, or after you solve a problem, and there'll always be more problems later down the road. And what this kind of poses for us as marketers and business owners is that we could actually utilize this to um, engage more of our leads if we kind of like increase the runway essentially for our leads, right? So it's exactly what Charlie does. Um, like another example is your car breaks down. Let's say here's your car. Your car breaks down. You don't know what. You have two problems, right? You don't know what's going on. You don't know the problem, and then two, you need it fixed. Fixed. So you then go to a mechanic. You're like, hey, mechanic, um, this is a wrench. But like, hey, I'll do for you, number one, a free consultation or diagnostic, I guess. And then two, I'll fix it. What the fix for money, right? So this is free. This is money, costs money. So what we could do is we have this service that's free. We get people in the door. We get more leads to take our service. We differentiate ourselves from the market. And then number two, we solve the next problem in the cycle with our paid solution, right? So we have the free, we have the paid. A lot of the benefits from the free are also covered by the paid costs of the solution, right? And that's what Charlie does as well, is he poses his solution of solving the mindset portion of starting a business, and then he monetizes on the lead gen systems, teaching people how to generate leads and all that stuff. So this is his essential model, because a person who pays with their time now is more likely to pay with their money later, right? So if you go to this mechanic and be like, hey, he's offering me for free, I like this guy, right? You probably wouldn't shop another mechanic unless his price is too high or something like that. But typically you wouldn't shop for another mechanic, and you typically just go with this guy. Because again, the trust is built, the credibility is built, the authority is built, and yeah. So if you're looking for help to actually implement these systems and concepts into your own business, you can check out the link in the description. That's what I do. I help people like you to do that. So, and then the last concept that I want to go over is also the importance of market maturity. So we'll kind of go over the 5 levels of the market. And a really good quote from Charlie is, focus on building insane products because it is the only line of defense you have against the march of entropy that is market maturity. It's just badass. But this really has to do with the 5 levels of market maturity. And level 1, you're in a new market, so you're the first in the industry. Level 2, the market grows, so competitors appear. Level 3, the market's kind of saturated, and there's more sophisticated buyers in the pool. Level 4, it's a highly saturated market, but buyers have been burned before. Buyers have been disappointed with the services. And level 5 is a hyper saturated market, and that's like extreme skepticism. So a lot of the info market, is really not in any of these levels before, right? It's pretty much here, already at level 5. And we'll kind of go in a little overview and how to differentiate yourself in the levels here right now. So for level 1, it's here, overview, and then how to differentiate. So overview, in a new market, it's just you. You have all of the market share, and you're the only offer in the market. And you differentiate by just simply existing. Level 2, growing market. Competitors appear. Competitors replicate. Success. Okay, I'll try not to write slanted like that. But you differentiate by being more specific. So specificity. In your offer. So like, we'll help you lose 10 pounds in 30 days. The next one is the saturated market, where there's more sophisticated buyers. But a lot of the skepticism skepticism starts to set in. So resistance. Okay, what they've kind of seen what all the people have done before. And then you can differentiate by having a process. So a process, specific process, a specific system, or a specific formula is also known as like a unique mechanism. Level 4 has highly saturated market, buyers burned, more resistance to the marketing. You differentiate by building trust. Building trust and credibility. And then level 5, extreme skepticism. It's like full resistance. And essentially by building more trust. Or being the most credible. So those are the 5 levels of market maturity. And you can kind of see how these points also link into the ads and his VSL that we're going to review later, right? So right here, it's like, this is offer stuff, offer, making his offer better. This is actually content and marketing. So proof. / proof. And then more proof. Proof, and then I'd say this is also a little bit about the hook as well. So you could kind of see how all of these can tie into the parts of all of his marketing, right? So we'll kind of go over his ads as well. So I wanted to show you guys his hooks, right? So he utilizes what's called a pattern break. And I believe it's this one, yeah. So
let's be honest,
just look at his hook, right? So
let's be honest for just a second here. You know that if you're not taking sales calls right now, you're losing money. How much is it costing you to have an empty calendar and to not know where your next appointment's going to come from? Well, my friend, I have a solution.
So that was his whole hook, and it's very unique, very different than all the typical hooks you see out there in the info/education space, where it's like, if you're a coach, consultant, agency owner, and people just saying that on repeat, it's very predictable. A lot of people have a lot of resistance to that nowadays, and it's not going to catch the attention, especially if you're running it to cold traffic like ads, right? And having this hook, it's a pattern break, and it really re-engages that attention back in. You're like, oh, what is this ad? I've never seen something like this before. So going back to this, a pattern break or pattern interrupt is a powerful, or this is the hook, by the way. So we're focusing on this part right now, not this stuff. So the hook, pattern break or pattern interrupt is a powerful psychological tool in marketing that 1, grabs attention, 2, disrupts predictable behavior, and number 3, forces people to re-engage with your message, right? And the story I want to illustrate this as well is the parable of the king's messenger. It goes something like this. So, a king needed to send an urgent message to his people. He sent out messengers on horseback announcing, "People of the kingdom, a great storm is coming, prepare yourselves." But the people, used to daily announcements, barely listened. They continued their routines, assuming it was just another warning. Desperate, the king's advisor suggested a different approach. Instead of sending more messengers, the king released a massive black flag over the castle, something no one had ever seen before. Panic and curiosity spread. People rushed to the castle gates, demanding to know what it meant. The king then made his announcement personally, and this time everyone listened, right? So having that pattern break, having that pattern interrupt is really going to help you, especially in a market that's forever maturing, forever copying each other and all that stuff. So next we're going to go deep into the proof in the offer and why it's so important in Charlie's funnel, right? So here is his video sales letter. And this is how he essentially converts people into sales calls. So how he converts his engaged leads into sales calls. And going through it, so 1 minute is where he starts his proof section. So showing all the proof, showing all the results, the case studies, the testimonials. And I wanted to just illustrate how long this actually goes for. So you could already see that like 40 to 50% of his whole video sales letter is just him going through proof, right? And this really illustrates how much he really values proof and how important it is to differentiate yourself from the market, from the from where people are, right? So how to stand out from the market, how to differentiate yourself. And then also, I wanted to go over his offer and how absolutely insane of an offer it is. So, yeah, it's right here. So, 52 full play clients in 52 weeks guaranteed, or your money back plus $10,000. Now, what he really leans into here is something he calls risk reversal. So, it's essentially creating a more valuable offer by reducing the risk for the prospect to take the service, right? Because there's always going to be the risk of someone pays for your service, they hate it, and they lose all their money, right? And instead of taking that chance, he completely reverses the risk, and he also puts money on the line for him to actually provide results. And I think it's an absolutely genius way to stand out from the rest of the market, and also to just have more people convert into his offer, right? So with that, that is the psychology behind Charlie Morgan's content, the importance of market maturity, and then also why it's so important to have a good hook, a good proof, good section for proof, and then a good offer for your info business. So hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.